Akwaba. Welcome to Expat Life Ghana. I'm Tony. This is my wife, Aya. We're documenting our move from Texas to Ghana as we go beyond the return.
Not that long ago, Tony got sick, and getting sick in Africa is not the same as getting sick in the US. So that sent us on a quest to find the best hospital in Africa. Well, we found an answer, and we are going to take you inside of a state-of-the-art surgical wing and answer some questions you might have about healthcare in general here in Ghana. So let's get this video started. Follow us in real time, you know that not that long ago, Tony got sick and it sent us into the healthcare system here in Ghana. We made a video about that. You should definitely check that one out. Gives you a lot of really good information and might prevent you from getting some really bad care.
Right.
That was a good video, right?
Yeah, it was. Pretty good video.
In the comments of that video, somebody actually wrote in that the best healthcare here in Ghana is don't get sick.
Yeah, that made us, yeah.
I just thought it was so funny when he wrote that. I was like, that should almost be like on a t-shirt or something.
So that made us ask two questions. What happens when you do get sick? And how do you not get sick?
Yeah, like what is the preventative care that you can, how do you get good preventative care so you don't actually end up needing anything?
Exactly.
Well, we answered that question and more by sitting down with a doctor and a medical administrator here in Ghana and finding out what exactly they have to offer for the community, and also getting to see a state-of-the-art surgery wing, like state-of-the-art.
Yeah, very impressive facilities.
Seriously.
Impressive.
So I'm excited to show you guys what we got to see. Let's start though by talking about one important thing. What happens when you get sick? What happens when you get sick here?
Oh wow, you just hope it's not serious.
And I feel like in Ghana, at least, and in lots of other parts of Africa, when somebody thinks something's wrong with me, it might be bad, their first thought is that they have to go to the West, right? Like, I've got to get on a plane, I can go to South Africa, I can go to Egypt, I can go back to the UK or the US. They think, let's get out.
Yeah, that they can't find affordable, accessible, quality healthcare right here in Africa.
Yeah, like that just doesn't exist. I think there are a lot of people who really, like, that is their understanding of healthcare.
Yeah, even, we found that even Ghanaians have this issue. And I think this video will help enlighten them with better options than just leaving for health.
Because we know a couple of people who have said that when something went wrong,
they have to leave. Yeah, they go to the States for healthcare.
Yeah, okay, so maybe a lot of us will have stuff that comes up that does need medical specialists, not just a general practitioner or an internal medicine person.
Right.
And it's kind of hard to know where to go.
Yeah, I think part of the biggest problem is people right now don't know what's out there or what's available. They think it's Ghana, they're limited in what they can offer, so they don't even look for healthcare here.
Yeah, so when we needed healthcare, the first thing that we were told was to go to the teaching hospital here in Ghana. How'd that turn out?
Well, we were taught something. Don't go to the teaching hospital. Okay,
we don't want to talk bad about the teaching hospital.
Right.
We're just going to let you know that we won't be going there. Right. We found better options.
Yes, our personal preference was to look for other options.
There was. Now, there are several hospitals that are available here in West Africa, but what we found was there's a facility that is state-of-the-art, that's in our own backyard.
Absolutely.
That has a surgery suite, like a whole floor for surgeries. That is state-of-the-art. I mean, my dad's a doctor, my sister's a doctor. I've seen the inside of medical centers. This stuff is
very impressive. Very, very impressive. And I think the newness of everything when you go in there really impacts you, because it's not what you're expecting, and you're immediately put at calm of the quality that you can receive at the facility.
Yeah, so it is not technically a hospital, which I totally have to like. It's technically not a hospital.
Right.
But I would opt for them over a hospital any day. So
very nice facility.
Yes. So we did get to sit down and interview some people that worked on staff. That was really nice. We talked to multiple people and we got a couple of them on video. But you and I have both now been there to see
as patients.
As patients.
So we can't give any more testimony than being a patient, of the facility, to say how well we were treated, how well we thought the prices were fixed, and just impressed all around.
Totally. So if you haven't figured it out by now, we are talking about Luca Healthcare, which is located here in Accra, Ghana. It is one of the premier facilities that is available in the whole of Africa in terms of not only accessing surgery services, ambulatory surgery services, which would be like outpatient, 1 day kind of things, but also a phenomenal team of doctors that come from like literally all over the world.
All over the world. And that's something that having a diverse staff like that, I'm really impressed by it, because they're getting people who want to come to Ghana.
Yeah.
I love it.
It was crazy too, because we've talked to 3 different doctors, 2 of their medical staff, and the physician's assistant. These guys are all coming from like top-notch universities and hospitals in the U.S. and the U.K., around the world, really. Right. I was like, wow, okay. Yeah. It wasn't like they flunked out of like University of Phoenix Med School.
Right, they are.
Class of February.
No, this is the ride.
That's right.
Class of February.
That is not the doctor that you're going to get.
Gary Owen going to get us for that
joke.
No,
see, that is totally a joke. Okay, class of March? No, just no class. Because like, that's not the class of doctor you're going to get. I think that's the most important thing to know.
Right. Top notch in their field, and they're very knowledgeable.
Completely.
With Luca Health having 2 facilities, there's no shortage of quality healthcare doctors. There's no shortage of people able to see you. And they're expanding. Yeah,
they are totally expanding. They are, when I was talking to one of the doctors, he said they're adding a cardiologist. I know that they're planning on adding more of the specialties, but right now I think they already have like 8 specialties. The fact that they have so many specialties that they can attend to, and half of the doctors are also surgeons. So that means like the doctor who you are seeing is also going to be the one equipped to do the surgery.
Right.
That's awesome.
Having surgery before, I can tell you, the doctor that you see for the problem, having him go to the ER room, to the surgery room with you, that makes a big difference in just being a patient and easing your mind some, because it's one thing to have surgery, but it's another thing to have surgery with somebody you've never seen before, and your doctor sends you to some place, and it's great to have familiarity with the person who's going to be operating on you. It makes you feel at ease.
Totally. And because they're all in one place together and they're all working hand in hand with one another, the person who does the anesthesiology is also a person who's familiar. They're all on the same team.
And they're in one location, so you don't have to go from one facility to the other.
So if you have to like go see the cardiologist, then you have to go all the way to the other side of town so you can see your internal medicine guy. You can
get your lab work done. So everything is right there, one location, one building, one campus. It's all great.
I think the other part that comes up a lot is this place even affordable? Like, can you even afford to go get healthcare at this new fancy schmancy place?
Right. Surprisingly. We've, because of my healthcare concerns, went out and actually did comparison shopping, if you want to call it that. And this being a new facility, new everything, I thought we were going to pay the farm. We just have to give everything we got.
One arm or 2 legs? How do you take payment?
Right. Which one of our kids do you want to take?
You can have those.
But it was surprisingly affordable. And I believe having competition in Ghana, you can't have your prices so high that the average person here in Ghana can't afford them. And that was a good surprise for me that we can out of pocket afford great quality health care.
Totally. And when you think about it, because you are doing something here that you had done in the States. So we have the ability to compare the price now, not only from a Ghana hospital to another Ghana facility, right? We have the ability to compare this from Ghana to the US. And I can tell you right now, as the person who reads every line of my insurance statement.
Yes, she does.
It was cheaper to do what we needed to get done here with no insurance
Right.
than it was to do the same exact thing in the States with good insurance.
Yes.
Because we didn't have a bad insurance, we had a good insurance.
Very good insurance, yeah.
But by the time, as you guys in the US know, by the time you pay your premium, and then you pay the deductible, and then you pay the co-insurance to your maximum, and then you pay whatever other thing they invent that you have to also pay. And the time they add up every byline that comes on that bill, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Even if you have insurance. So here, with no insurance, it was like
super cheap. And I think, you know, for me, the biggest thing was knowing how much it costs in the States. So I was reserved to look at a place like Luca. I just thought it would be out of our grasp to afford, and surprisingly, it was right in the ballpark.
I think that should be really reassuring, not only to people in the diaspora, but also for Ghanaians who live in Ghana.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, you too might feel like you can't get really good quality healthcare, and like, really, there's a place that is cheaper than what we could get in the US that has equal, if not better, quality of staff, quality of facility, that is literally right here. So that was like...
Yeah. So you hear that, Ghana and all of West Africa, I can tell you, stop going elsewhere.
Seriously.
Come check out Luca Health here in Ghana.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's cut into an interview. We had a chance to talk to one of the business managers who was able to give us more information about the facility, how insurance kind of works. So let's cut to the interview real quick so we can get information from her. I'm so excited to be here talking to a new friend here at Luca Health. I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right, absolutely. Welcome, and my name is Lynda Aboagye. I'm the director for Luca Health Operations.
I'm just going to tell you guys, for those of you watching, she's the coolest lady ever. I'm going to fangirl. No, seriously, I've enjoyed being able to spend time with you today. So I wanted to ask you a few questions. Our viewers often reach out about healthcare because it's something that's very front of mind for people. And the number one question they have is, can I afford the healthcare here? And I think about that too in terms of Ghanaian folks. The people who live here, including a lot of my family, they don't really come to Luca. And part of that is not knowing about the facility, but part of it is thinking that they can't afford it.
Right.
So can we talk about the affordability of this place?
Yes, so I think I'll start with looking at your healthcare is looking at the investment in the healthcare versus looking at it as a money exchange.
Right.
So if you're seeking healthcare services, I would say Luca Health is very affordable, and you're able to get the quality and the level of service that you need at Luca Health.
Yes.
So our doctors are very, very attentive. They spend the time with you. They go through everything with you. We do a lot of patient education as well.
Yes.
So the money that you're paying for is more of an investment in your healthcare. So.
And I'm going to throw in right
affordable.
now too that when we've compared for ourselves for getting healthcare, this has been on par with everything else. So for those of you who are either in Ghana or thinking about coming, it's definitely on par with what you would pay to go to a facility that maybe has less services or less of the modernization that you would have come to expect. So in terms of cost, I feel like it's very comparable. It doesn't feel like you're pricing yourself out of a part of the community.
Right.
So it feels like everyone can afford to come here. I like that.
Yes.
So the other part of that is insurance.
Yes.
Everybody always wants to know about
insurance. We get that question all the time. Yes. So we do accept insurance. Right now, for local insurances, we accept Glyco. Okay. We accept Acacia Insurance.
All right.
So if you have any questions about that, you give us a call and we'll go through the process with you. And what we do here at Luca Health is we walk you through the insurance process. So we don't tell you to call the insurance and figure it out. We walk you all the way through the insurance process. As much as we can do for you, we will do on your behalf, and then we'll kind of plug you in as needed.
Got you.
But in terms of international insurances, we also accept a lot of the major ones: Aetna, Bupa, Henner, AXA, a lot of the international ones.
Yeah.
We accept. And if we don't accept your particular, we get a lot of questions about Blue Cross Blue Shield,
right,
and other more subsets of insurance within the States or within Europe. But what I would say about that is a lot of the insurances are flexible in reimbursing you when it comes to this part of the world.
Right.
So you can pay for the service and then we'll give you a receipt or an itemized bill. or an itemized receipt, and then you will submit that to your insurance, and then they will reimburse you that way.
Perfect.
And we'll
'cause
work with you along the way.
Yeah,
with
it
that as
does
well.
feel like people are very, you go through the hassle of making sure you have your health insurance in
Yes.
the States, and
Yes.
then you want to make sure that you can use it when you travel abroad.
Correct.
So it's good to know
Correct.
that there are certain insurances that are
Yes.
already accepted.
Correct.
But keep in mind, folks, that if you don't have it, you can submit the bill and get
Yes.
reimbursed. So
Yes,
that is always a
absolutely.
way to ensure that you
Not
can
all
get
the insurances will reimburse you, but they do reimburse.
Yeah, so it would be very, it would be worthwhile to check if you're
Yes.
getting ready, but it's
Exactly.
good to know that even from just a consumer point of view, that you don't have to be paranoid to come and get health care here because of either
Definitely not.
feeling like it's going to be too expensive,
expensive
or
or-
that your
yes.
insurance won't cover
Yes,
it. So that is
definitely
really reassuring.
Definitely not. And we work with you, like I said, we work with you along the way to make sure that you're able to you feel comfortable enough that
Yeah.
you're paying for it, and you know that we're getting all the documents that you need to be able to submit for reimbursement.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so the takeaway from that was definitely you can afford it.
Right.
You can use your insurance if you have insurance from the West, or you're traveling around with travel insurance.
Yeah.
But the last piece of it is there is a high value piece here. You are getting a lot
Yes. Yes.
for a very good price. So definitely feel like it's within your grasp, like you said. I feel like that's definitely the takeaway from her interview. That was great.
Yeah.
Okay, so the second part of this is really how do you prevent illness?
Stay out of sketchy clubs and daycares. Number one.
Okay, though, but for real, how do you have preventative
Oh.
health care?
Oh.
Do you ever
Okay.
notice that about, maybe it's just me, but it feels like people don't, if I have a pain in my arm,
Mhm.
I'm not let me go to the doctor here in Ghana. I'm
Right.
the arm has fallen off and I'm going to go and take my dangling arm to the doctor
Say,
hey!
here, so I'll fix it. That's kind of
Yeah.
what you see a lot of here
Yes.
is you go and it's almost too late
Right.
when you go, and
And it's so different, I think, from the U.S. because in the U.S. it very much is about you go to your annual checkup, you go and get so that you don't ever get to the point that you need surgery, that you're taking things preventatively.
Right. I mean, yeah, in the States, people go to the doctor over a runny nose, so we found that here in Ghana, a lot of people, they have their traditional medicines and things that they've been doing.
Not that there's anything wrong with
No,
that.
I'm not.
We are
doubting
drinking
that
the
at all.
teas too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But people have what worked for them for so long that isn't medically.
Ooh, what are you gonna say here? I'm totally curious.
Approved. No doctor's like, yeah, drink those weird little yellow berries off the tree for malaria. No doctor is really saying that. But back home, he grew up off of that little berry for malaria. So they have their ways and they have their way of thinking. So
and there's not
we don't
necessarily there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
It's just that it might, if you are coming from another country, it might not just fit into your way of thinking about healthcare or dealing with medical issues of yours that come up.
Right.
And I know this is a big question for a lot of people who watch that are at that retirement age or just a little bit older where things just need to be checked a little bit more often. Kind of that.
You're looking at me funny.
I was looking.
Okay. I just saw you leaned on me a little bit. I'm like, hey.
No comments.
All
no
right.
comments. But if you are kind of one of those people who has either a chronic illness, maybe you're working through diabetes or heart disease or something related to your kidney, and you think you can't come here because how on earth will you maintain your health?
Be rest assured, top of the notch facility, West Africa, right here in Ghana.
Yeah, that is
Luca
an
Health.
actual thing. I mean, so there were people who've reached out to us on YouTube who've asked that question because they do have diabetes. They need to see someone regularly, and they think they can't come because there's no one here to see them.
Right.
And it's not true. It's not true at all.
Not true at all. There's
Now there's
many people
yes.
that have reached out to us and on that topic, and we mentioned a place like this. Really, and they have a slight bit of reservation, and it's like, yeah, but it's still.
Totally
No, I think we have to change the thought of what you think about Ghana and the new way of thinking about Ghana.
And this is a really new facility. Like, it's been open like 6 months. I mean, it hasn't been open very long. But for them to see how much progress that they've made in there in such a short amount of time is literally amazing. Like, I know they're not classed as a hospital, but I consider them to be hospital worthy for the majority of things that you would need. I mean, they are.
Yeah, I think the design and the whole concept of what they have there was very forward thinking. And
Totally.
I just look forward to the future with them just doing great things. I can see it happening for them.
Hi, I'm Leo. Subscribe right now.
You know, a couple years ago, we were in Ghana, and Pop had gotten, a little sick. So we wanted to, take him around, make sure he's okay, get him to the doctor. And
Us Westerners were like, we have to go get you a full checkup.
Yeah. We wanted, make sure he had a full diagnosis of whatever could be wrong with him.
And he was in perfect health, for anyone who was wondering. He was in perfect health.
But I think the hurdles there were after getting him to his primary doctor, we had to see about 4 or 5 other people at 4 or 5 different locations throughout Tema and Accra. And
that was so miserable.
It was almost discouraging because at some point you're like, I just want to go to one place to get all these things taken care of.
Yes.
But it took us a couple days.
Yeah, it was like
to get
4
this
days
in.
to get through everybody. And it was normal stuff. Like, his internal medicine primary care kind of doctor was like, well, you know what, let's go and check his abdomen. Let's go check, general function here. Let's do blood work. Things that for me, feel like
CT scan
very
as
normal.
Well. So,
yeah, just like normal routine things that you would get done in a single facility.
Right.
And we were running
left, right, east, west,
and
north, south, you name it.
And
we were bouncing.
We were waiting for a long time too. So that was.
Yeah, that was the thing too. You can get a result on Tuesday from a test you took 3 weeks in the past on a Tuesday. We were waiting a long time to get results. So it was a lot of hurry up, get there, wait to be seen, wait to get the procedure done, and then go home and wait for the results.
I think that's why you were discouraged when you were thinking about getting healthcare here, because you were remembering that kind of experience.
Absolutely. That set on my mind and played on my mind a lot.
Yeah, and there was like no central access point. Like, there was no, I'm sick, I just go here, and then we take care of all of the things and all of that. And I think that really feeds into preventative healthcare, because for me, it's like, if I were feeling under the weather, I too would think about Pop's situation and be like, I don't want to run all over town. Through all that. I just give me some more of the tea. I'll be fine. But
so somebody found a solution to our concerns.
Yes, which is like, I think about what opportunity is on the like what's about to happen to the people in Ghana being able to access this kind of quality preventative care and really be able to change their experience with medicine from very reactive to very proactive, where when you are not feeling well, you can seek really good quality care in a very centralized way, so that you don't get to the point where you are sitting in a Corlebu hospital bed trying to figure out what surgery they're going to do on you exactly.
Good point.
We don't want that.
No, not at all.
So they do have, you were talking about imaging and diagnostics. They themselves do not have that on site, but they have a partner facility that has come onto the same campus as them, so that if you need diagnostic and if you need lab work, you have the #1 provider in West Africa right downstairs that you can go and get that. Yes.
All right. They thought of it all. Forward thinking, again, forward thinking in recognizing the needs and then fulfilling those needs.
I love it.
While at Luca, we interviewed a physician and got his take on chronic illness and primary health care.
Yeah, so let's take a look at that. Hey y'all, so I'm here and I'm talking to one of the doctors here on staff at Luca, and I'm super excited to actually find out the answer to these questions. But before we get started, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Okay, so my name is Dr. Senyo Tagboto. I practice internal medicine and nephrology at Luca Health. Nephrology simply means disease of the kidney, and internal medicine is really anything that affects an adult that is treated with medicine. all your chronic diseases.
That's like everything, right?
Nothing surgical.
Nothing surgical.
Absolutely.
So you would be kind of like a primary care physician for someone who is here, or not? Not exactly.
Not exactly. The slight difference is that a true primary care physician looks after things that internal medicine doesn't. For example, gynecological things can be looked after by a primary care physician as well. But internal medicine solely deals with adult illnesses or the management of chronic diseases.
Got you.
So you don't, unlike a family physician, you don't look after pediatrics and you don't look after gynecological conditions. Pretty much you look after anything else.
So a great question for people who are
Sure.
either coming here
Yes.
or, debating whether or not Ghana will
Sure.
work for them is,
Yes.
what do you do if you get sick here?
Sure. So although I said we're not primary care physicians, in Luca Health we actually take on the primary care role.
Okay.
That's partially because primary care in Ghana is a little patchy. So unlike many parts of the world where primary care is a dedicated specialty,
Right.
and everyone is encouraged to have a primary care physician, whether you're well or you're ill, it's sort of so patchy here that we've taken on that role.
Got
But
you.
because the diseases are more or less the same, we can
do that.
stretch ourselves. But what it means is that if we take on your primary care role, there are some things that we'll ask the gynecologist help
To
with.
take.
But we've not yet got into pediatrics. So
Got you.
anyone above 17 we're completely comfortable with. Between about 14 to 17 depends on what you've got.
What's wrong.
Less than 14 you really need a pediatrician or a true GP.
So if you're in Ghana and you're
Yes.
living here,
Yeah.
and you're accustomed to the U.S. system, you've
Sure.
been going to your primary care physician and
Yes.
you've been getting your annual checkups.
Absolutely.
If you're here in Ghana,
Yes.
is that something you can continue to do with?
Yes.
with you?
We
Yeah.
do exactly the same thing.
Great.
And it is because we are accustomed to do the same thing, although we've always been doing it when you are iller. So-
Right.
But it's still okay.
It's still okay.
If you're not as ill, we'll still look after you just as well.
Well, that's great.
Yes.
So the other side of this coin, of
Yes.
course, is if you are a little bit older.
Yes.
I'm no spring chicken myself, so a little bit older tend to have some more chronic illnesses
Yes.
that
Yes.
you might be hesitant to come
Yes.
because you're not sure if you can get the care.
Sure. Yes.
Can you get the care?
So really, we particularly like dealing with chronic illnesses. That's when internal medicine, in fact, becomes more and more comfortable. The more difficult the chronic condition is, the happier we become. So in other words, whether it's asthma or COPD or diabetes or heart failure or angina,
You can
the
take care
same
of it
rules
all.
apply. But of course, outside internal medicine, some things need subspecialty input. And I'm a nephrologist,
Right.
so my subspecialty is kidney disease. And so occasionally we use the help of various subspecialties where needed for
Right.
a particular function. So for example, while internal medicine looks after angina and heart failure, for example, if you need if you have an artery that is too narrow and you need an angioplasty, we would then get another physician to do the angioplasty for us and then continue looking after your angina thereafter.
Right. Well, what I love about Luca is that you
Yes.
have so many of the subspecialties
Yes.
in-house.
Yeah.
So as the internal medicine doctor, you're
Yes.
able to pull in from the other subspecialties as needed
That's
in the
correct.
same building.
Absolutely.
I can tell you, my dad got sick
Yes.
last year, and we had such a headache having to run here, run there, run here,
Yes.
run there.
Yes.
It's really, it would have been so much easier
Yes.
had you guys been around when, so that we could have come here.
Sure.
What subspecialties do you handle here?
So we actually have a cardiologist who will be joining us shortly.
Oh, great.
There's a gynecologist, there's an ENT surgeon, there's an anesthesia, there's a general surgeon, there's a urologist in-house at the moment.
Wow.
And there's a long-term plan where over the next 4 years, this should continue to grow.
Oh, great.
So although we've not got there yet, there is a lot of talk about other specialties and recognizing the need for people like pediatricians and neurologists, etc.
Right.
But for those that we don't have in-house, we do have good links with people who we know can step in. And because we have good links and are using people who are tried and tested, we still have a good collaborative process, which means that pretty much anything can be taken off. It takes the guesswork out of where you should go
Right.
for people we don't have in-house.
And that's so helpful
Yes.
just to have
Sure.
that extra piece.
Yes.
Well, so there you have it.
Yeah.
If you are in the States and you're not sure if the healthcare is available, it is.
Yeah.
Take it from the word of the doctor. And also know that there are subspecialties available even if you are dealing with more chronic illnesses. So I feel like you've reassured some people today.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
really appreciate that.
Thank you very much for your time.
I really had a good time during this interview. The doctor actually snuck me in between 2 appointments, so kind of just slid myself right in there.
Well, good. So a couple takeaways are they have you covered and they are surgery ready.
Yeah, like I said, they have all of the specialties, and the majority of the doctors with the specialties are also surgeons, so they're totally ready. The surgery wing is
Super nice.
so nice.
Yeah.
Let's take a second and dive into some of the stuff that they have in the surgery
Let's take
wing
a look.
because it's...
We said state of the art. We really mean it.
All right, let's take a look around.
Hold all my hair in.
Drop a comment below and let us know what you think.
I'm not the only person who had to visit Luca Healthcare as a patient. Io, you want to talk about your visit?
I did. I had to go see the ENT specialist, who is also a surgeon. She has like a spaceship command center in her office. When I walked in, I was like, "Whoa!"
Right.
The thing is insane. First off, like I thought the lady was gonna come with like the little sticky thing, and you look through with the eye. She had.
Yeah, they had four tools in there.
Seriously.
Things you've never seen before.
And it's state of the art. She was recently added to the team. She's so excited to be there. I loved her. She was great. So I just, I feel like not only is the surgery wing state of the art, the doctors there are working with tools in a facility that are also spanking new state of the art. Right. So when it comes to surgery, hospital services, and healthcare in Ghana, I feel like they are competitive now with the global market.
Yes.
I feel like they're there.
And just speaking on the physicians that are there, they make you feel at ease. They make you feel comfortable. Really, really good at easing your mind and
explaining everything that's going on
and talking to you about options. Something that, I went to a couple other places and there were no options. This is what you need. It's like, oh, okay. And that was kind of scary because to go to another place and say, oh, you've got a couple options. It's like, oh, the other places told me it was one thing that had to be done. Well, here, they were like, hey, Tony, you can do this or you can do that, but this is kind of where you're at right now. This is what we suggest. And it's like, oh, okay, I can get with that. So it was very...
And it's good that they can fulfill those options for you. It's not like, it doesn't feel like they're passing you along either. Well, you've got a couple options. Maybe you should go to so-and-so down the road and try this or that. They really are like, here's your options, and we can do that here. I can't say enough good things. I want you guys to know we do not get kickbacks or anything from them. We're just sharing our experience.
Yeah, right, exactly.
But I think the biggest takeaway from all of this is that you do not have to go back to the US or the UK or to Egypt or South America to get quality health care as an expat or a diasporan. And if you are a Ghanaian, you have greatness in your backyard that is affordable.
Right. And It's very forward thinking. So if you're moving into the future, this is the kind of place you want to associate yourself with as far as healthcare.
Totally. So I'm going to take a second to thank all of the staff, all of the doctors, the nurses, the administrative staff at Luca for really showing us that we can continue to take care of ourselves in a way that we are accustomed to, and maybe even better than we're accustomed to, in a way that doesn't require us to sell arms, legs, or children.
Right.
They were amazing.
Very impressive facility, impressive staff, all the way down to the parker. The guy at the car park. He's very, very nice about making sure you back up so much and.
But there is something to that. We'll go to places and they talk to you like you're an annoyance. And this, they didn't do that.
No.
Nobody.
So my immediate take getting there was, wow. I felt like somebody parking my car. So
you are somebody.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
So, Luca Health.
Yeah.
Great job. Thank you.
Really, definitely. All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Last reminder, though, we have a live every last Friday of the month.
Last Friday of the month.
So it is coming up soon. If you are not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our live. If you are one of our subscribers, make sure that you mark it in your calendar and hit the notification bell so that you can be there with our live and ask us all the questions that you have dangling out there that you need to know as you're considering
What's
the
happening?
move to Ghana.
Yeah.
And we just love to hear from you guys in the live. So please make sure that you hit subscribe and the notification bell so you can be in our lives. And I guess we'll see you soon.
Yeah, we will see you soon. Hey, Charlie out for now. See ya.
Ooh, you're throwing a thumbs up in there at the end? Aquaba, and welcome to Expat Life Ghana. I'm Ayo, and this is Tony. Tony just had some plastic surgery to make himself look younger. It went great.
We're documenting our move.
Take 12.
Wow, Ghana, what the hell?
Ooh, Carson.
Wow, we're talking.
Wow, Luca, we talked.